the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves, call the shots like the boss. I wanna love like I never lost.
Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Movie Group, founder of the Dream Network channel. Learn more at dreamnetworkchannel.com.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days. We know that Arizona has some amazing filmmakers, so I am so excited to sit and chat with our next guest. Let's welcome Mr. Christaveon Gaines. Hello there. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining us today. Christaveon Gaines.
Yes.
I love that name. So I like to always try to get a little information from my guests so that our audience feel like they know you also. Where are you originally from, Christaveon?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Really?
I always tell people that I came from Palmdale, California when I was 6. I'm 24 now, so I've been out here longer than anywhere else.
Okay. You know what? I try to tell my mama that because she would claim Tennessee real quick.
How long has she been out here?
Since she was 4. Over what? Years. Yeah, she's been here. But she claims that Tennessee is my hometown. Yeah. That's what she says. Yeah. I said, okay, lady.
And are you from here?
I'm a native of Arizona. I claim my state. Well, welcome and thank you. So, Christaveon, you're a filmmaker here in Arizona. Yes. What was it that got you into that industry?
Filmmaking. I guess I would say writing is kind of what drew me into filmmaking because it goes hand in hand. And right. I've always been a writer. Oh, okay. And I just wanted, I would say, not so much a better way to tell a story, but another way that goes hand in hand with writing. And the other way that goes hand in hand with writing to tell a story is to make it visually. Oh, so that's kind of how I got drawn.
So do you like to call yourself a storyteller?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, and that's what you do as a filmmaker. You tell stories.
Exactly. That's all it is to it. It's just stories that's told visually.
Right. How would you describe the stories that you create in your mind?
How would I describe them? The first thing that comes up in my head is realism. Every story that comes to me, whether it's like a fictional story or something that's being made up, I always try to take like true events or something that I've been through, something that I've seen, and I try to implement that into anything I'm creating.
Okay, that is awesome. If there was this just one filmmaker out there that you would say that he inspired you or she inspired you in your work, I don't want to say that you give me like their work, but your work sort of matches what they produce.
I would say one of the filmmakers, well, two of the filmmakers that I follow really closely. One, of course, Tyler Perry, and that one.
My crew know how I love Tyler Perry.
That one is because since I was a little boy, I would watch my grandma just watch all his plays, of course, the Medea plays and everything. But when I started to get older, I started to kind of tap more into his story and how he was like once upon a time homeless, and how he's like one of the biggest billionaires, one of the biggest filmmakers today. So that's very, that's very touching. That's very inspiring for me. And then the second person, I would say Jordan Peele. I wouldn't say any of my projects mimics his work just yet, but I do want to get into horror pretty soon. And I just love Jordan Peele's work ethic, and I love his crazy mind and how he pushes out his stories.
Which one is one of your favorites?
Get Out.
Get Out.
Get Out.
Yeah, I didn't really feel the Nope too much.
Oh no, I didn't really. I
thought it was kind of drawn out.
Yeah, maybe he had ran out of little ideas. I know
he
then.
just went crazy with the Nope. Yeah.
Uh,
So, again, thank you for joining us here today. And I know you're here because you want to talk about your new series that
yes,
you have out, the Bloodline series.
yes.
Tell us about the Bloodline series. First, I want to know where that name come from.
The Bloodline series. The name kind of stemmed from just, when do you have any siblings or
Yes.
even cousins, family in
Mm-hmm.
general? I wanted to choose a name that I feel like kind of gives you the idea of a strong bond, like a strong bondsmanship,
Okay.
um, with siblinghood, familyhood. And when you watch the series, you would see a group of siblings that
Mm.
have a lot of issues going on with each other and internally, but at the end of the day, they're strong within their
Uh,
bloodline. They're strong within their bondsmanship. So that's kind of
mm.
where the name stemmed from. Um, Bloodline is kind of like a birth between a feature film and a
Mm-hmm.
TV show. A lot of people
Oh,
ask
okay.
which one is it. It's a pentalogy, so it's
Oh,
a 5 chapter
okay.
series.
Okay. I saw your I think I don't know if it's your logo for it or the poster for it. I mean, just looking at that, it could take your mind in so many different
Yeah.
areas. And I didn't get from that what you just described,
Hmm.
which I do understand the blood
Yeah.
part of it, but I mean, it took me somewhere else
Yeah.
with it. I mean, I
Did it
could
look
even,
like a horror?
yes, I was thinking
Yeah.
vampires or you know what, I could even see um I'm gonna say like gangster type movies. I just
Oh,
saw something
yeah.
totally
There's
different.
there's a lot of that within that as well. There's a lot of killing, so that kind
Oh,
of where
okay.
the name stems from as well. Because when you watch it, you'll see a lot of killing going on that I
Mm,
touched on because it's just something that I saw, growing up, and then specifically Black culture. You
mm,
see a lot of that as well.
mm. So, being a native of Arizona and creating something like this, you know what? I love that you're creating that because a lot of times we don't see um, indie filmmakers creating
Yes.
things that's related to our culture
Yes.
or our lives. I mean, we see a lot of horror,
Yes.
comedy things, but we don't see the realism of what's going on in our culture.
Exactly.
So I like that you're stepping out of the box and doing
Thank
something
you.
different. So how has that taken off so far for you?
I would say when I first tapped into it, I was a little bit scared because this is my first film. This is the first time I ever took that leap of faith. If you would have asked me a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, would I ever make a movie? I would probably say no because
Hmm.
it seemed so far fetched.
Oh, okay.
Um, but when I actually tapped into it, I was very surprised of the support and
Mm,
everything that I
good.
got, and just because mainly from what you said, a lot of people would come in my DMs or message me and say, "We never really saw something like this
Mm,
in Arizona. You're one of the frontliners that's doing this."
mm,
You see a lot of it, but not really, from our,
right.
yeah, our people, our culture, and then especially our young people. So that pushed me a lot to keep
Mm-hmm.
going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what? I strongly believe that we need to see more of
Yeah,
that. You know,
I agree.
we 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 stay focused on say look movies that were done way in the 70s
Yeah.
or 80s, those are the most
Yeah. Hmm.
memorable ones, but we need to see current stuff
Yeah.
so that our youth, that people can see that this is what's going on right
Exactly.
now. So I love that you're doing that.
Thank you.
So Bloodline, is any of this related in your family?
Yes.
Don't be getting in
See,
trouble now.
that's the thing. So I wanted my first film to actually kind of be more tapped into my life, kind of like a
Mm,
younger's biography, but
okay.
I wasn't ready to expose everything yet,
Right.
especially when you're doing something about your life. It's really not just
Right.
about your life. You're exposing the
Other,
stories of,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you're
and
exposing others also.
exactly. And I'm not saying my family is bad. I love my family, and
Mm.
they're very supportive of
We
me
all
as
love our
well.
family.
Yeah. But I
No.
didn't feel like it was the right time for me to put them on the front lines and tell their stories, before they did. So I
Right.
did Bloodline, and what I always tell people is Bloodline is not based on a true story, but it's based on the true events. So I took bits and pieces of what I saw growing up and even now, and I implemented it in a fictional story.
Okay, I love that.
Yes, thank
I
you.
love that.
So also, I would say any person of color, when they watch the series, you're gonna find something that's relatable to you, and you also will find something that's like you're gonna watch and you're gonna be like, oh, this person reminds me of my cousin, or this person reminds me of my auntie. You're gonna find something that's relatable.
Right. I like that. And you know what? For me, those are the types of movies that I go for,
Yeah.
that I want to see. Um, it just
Mhm.
it depends on my, but most generally, those are the types of movies that I go for, or things that I can relate to. I mean, I see something
Yeah.
that's my brother. I always
Yes.
talk about my
That could
brother. I have
resonate
3
with you.
brothers, so I can always find things
Yeah.
about them in a lot of the movies that I watch.
Mhm.
So you said that Bloodlines is your first film, correct? Okay.
Yes.
We have to talk more about Bloodlines right after this commercial
Okay.
break.
Okay.
Welcome back to Desert Days, and I am here with the talented Christaveon Gaines.
Thank you.
So, Christaveon, you know what? I've been talking about this being a film,
Yes.
but it's not a film. Explain that to our audience.
So like I always tell people, it's a lot of people don't never heard the word before, but pentalogy.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I say, look at it as a visual chapter book. So it's a 5 chapter series.
Okay. 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 And you know what? I guess, you know what? I'm one of them Netflixers. You look at some of those movies now, that's what you get is a lot of those pentalogy.
Yeah,
So you
pentalogy.
see a lot of those.
Yes.
So when
Sequence.
I'm looking all tired, that's because I done been up late.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna watch one more and then I'm done.
Yeah.
But that's pretty exciting.
Thank you.
So my producer was asking, also wanted to know, because he likes to
Yes.
Netflix and chill also. I mean, are you going to have one of those weeks or weekends where we just see them all out there?
So the premiere will be the screening for chapter 1.
Okay.
Shortly after that, chapter 1 will go to streaming services like Tubi,
Okay.
Amazon Prime, and then
You're gonna
while I'm
slowly.
while I'm pushing out that, I'm gonna be working on chapter 2
Okay.
to 5, and then I'm not pushing out any chapters until all those are finished.
There, until they're
And
out there.
yes, and those will
Okay.
be pushed out at the same time. Then that's when people could, binge watch the whole
Okay.
series.
Okay. That sounds awesome. Popcorn
Yeah.
and Bloodline series. I like that.
Thank you.
So you had mentioned earlier on that you had no thoughts of being a filmmaker.
No.
Are you a writer? Do you?
Yes. Yes.
You have a book out?
I don't have a book out. I do have a book that I'm currently. When I was working on Bloodline, it was either should I push out this book or should I push out Bloodline first? And the reason I picked Bloodline because I just feel like it was more into Bloodline. You had the visuals and then you had the writing, and that just kind of fired me up a little bit more. But I am working on a book project.
Well, is that something you would put in a book? Bloodline, the series?
I would do that. A few people had told me it would be a great idea just because of the format of Bloodline and the story of it.
Right. There's still a lot of people that like reading books.
Yes.
So I think that would be really nice as well.
Mhm.
So when is the premiere for Bloodline, the first series?
The premiere would be November 25th. At
Okay.
6 o'clock, and if anyone wants to view the details or get tickets, they could go on our Bloodline page and click the link that's in our bio.
Okay, okay. So we've gotten one out there getting ready to premiere that.
Yes.
What's next for Christaveon?
What's next for me? I would say other than what's next is the chapter 2 to 5 of Bloodline. I'll be working on that, and then I haven't told anyone yet, but my next project, I will be doing a reality series based in
Oh,
Arizona, and I
oh,
want to find entrepreneurs out
oh,
here. So I kind of usually when people hear reality series, you think of the fighting,
right,
throwing
right,
drinks.
right.
But I want to change it up a bit. I know Arizona really doesn't have really too many reality TV shows. I think I heard of one
Mm.
before, and that's still not at the top of
I
my head.
over the years I've seen people try and do them
Yes.
and something happens and you
Yes.
never hear about it anymore.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna push out a reality series, and I just want it to be really positive. I want entrepreneurs, I want creators, and I just want to show the work dynamic
Oh.
of them all tap into
Hmm.
their lives a little bit.
So why did you decide on that?
What was that?
Why did you decide on that
Um,
type?
I just got so tired of seeing reality TV in a negative light. I got
Oh.
tired of seeing, culturally speaking, black people fighting. There's so much more to that. I wanted to, show a different side of not even just African Americans, but a
Mm.
different side of everyone. I wanted to show the positive
Yeah,
side. I
because they
want
got
to,
all them housewives now. They ain't just
yeah.
African American. They all out there
Exactly.
acting up.
Exactly. I wanted to do something different with reality TV. I just
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
show hard working individuals.
Okay. So, Christaveon, you're a young man here in Arizona. How hard has it been for you to get this project completed for you?
uh, it's been tough. It's been tough. I mean, I would say I am blessed because the majority of the time it's going smoothly,
Mm,
but it's definitely been a journey. It's definitely been a journey. It's not cheap. It's
right.
not easy. I mean, there's
It's
some
not
days,
for the faint at
yeah,
heart. Yeah,
exactly. I feel
right.
like what I want to say is if you do like when you're doing something like this, when you're pushing out projects in the film ministries,
Mm,
films, even talk shows, it's like you have to have a passion for it
right.
because if you don't have the passion for it, your well's gonna run dry. You're
That's
gonna be
true.
on a burnout, and I would say I've caught myself on many burnouts, but because
Mm,
of my passion, I keep going. It sparks back up.
okay. And that is true.
Yes.
You have to be passionate about
Hmm.
it or you're going to burn out.
Exactly.
That's totally true. What advice would you give to this young man that may be watching you and say, I want to do what he's doing?
I would say the advice I give everyone that's possibly watching me, I would say each and every day, even if you're on a burnout, you're tired, you're this, that, and the third, give 1% a day. Because
Mm,
if you give 1% a day, eventually you're gonna be at 100%. So when you're tired, when you feel like giving up, just remember all you gotta give is 1% a day. So
mm,
that's what I would say.
that's true. That is true. What has been your, I mean, I know you're passionate about what you do, but what has been your favorite part of this whole process?
Uh, Seeing it come to life, seeing it come to life because I'll just brainstorm and I'll put it on a little piece of paper or a sticky note, and then months will go by, and I will look back at that little sticky note, and I'll be like, wow,
It's really,
this really came to life. I really
right.
have a full on together cast, a production team, and this little thought that I wrote down
Mm,
to myself, thought it was a crazy idea from my mind. It's really like someone's really believing in my dreams so much that they're portraying these things for me. They're portraying my visions for me.
right. You know what? And with you saying this is your first film, how was, I want to ask just because of if that young
Yes,
guy's looking at
yes.
your young woman, um, this is your first film. How did you get all these talented people around
Ooh,
you to complete this
I
project?
would say it's very, very important to network.
Mm,
Very important to network. Put yourself out there. Um, just don't believe your ideas are too small or too far fetched because there's someone out there that's going to hear your idea and they're going to
right,
be on fire to push it, help you push it out.
right.
Um, so that's what I would say. Network, put yourself in rooms.
Mhm.
Some people that's gonna speak your name in rooms for you,
Right.
but you also want to, put yourself out there. You want
Right.
to connect with people.
They want to see who that person is.
Yes.
I mean, you can be
exactly.
all over social media posting, but they want to still see put a face behind that name.
Exactly.
That is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Uh, 5 years. I guess I see myself working on a much bigger project, whether it's a different project or growth from the projects I'm pushing out now.
Okay. Okay. So where can our audience find you?
Audience, you could find me on Instagram. My personal is c.mar. That's @CDOTMAR. And then the film page is Bloodline the series. @Bloodline the series.
Awesome. Awesome. So tell them again, the premiere is November.
The premiere will be November 25th. It'll start at 6 p.m. And if you go on our Instagram, Bloodline the series, and click the link, you'll see all the premiere details and a way to get tickets there.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Any last thoughts?
I would just say I'm thankful of you, Kathy Blaze. I'm thankful for the team today. I'm thankful of my cast, my team, my family, and everyone that's been supporting me and supporting this film. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without all you guys.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
It was such a pleasure to have you here with us today, and we surely look forward to seeing Bloodlines and supporting you with that.
Thanks for having me
Thank
today.
you. And thank you for joining us here on Desertwood Days.